It is my pleasure to introduce Tracy Ma of Hillhouse. I first heard about Hillhouse maybe 8 or 9 years ago, and I couldn't believe that there was this firm that was investing in tech. And of course, Hillhouse famously started with $20 million from the Yale Endowment. Tracy Ma has been there from the beginning, and I'm delighted to have this chance to chat with her. I think that people will have such a good idea about Hillhouse just listening to you talk about your own experiences there. So, we'll start, with how you came to join, Lay, and, we will see how the organization evolved through your eyes.
Sure, okay. So maybe from very early stage, I came from Shandong province, I grew up in a very small village, in a very traditional Chinese family, went to Beijing for university. Then after graduation, I joined China Securities. 5 years after that, I met Lay. Lay mentioned that story.
So what year was that? What year did you meet Lay?
That's 2005. Yeah.
And he had just returned to China from Yale at that time.
Yes, I think so. At that time, he was thinking about being an entrepreneur. He called a lot of his friends, including my husband, then who is a big fan of Lay. He easily sent me to Lay. I just get him started from there. People always joke about me did any rules other than CIO. Before we have a trader, I was the trader. Before we have an investment associate, I was an investment associate. Before we have a compliance officer, I was the compliance officer. Before we have investor communications, I was the one doing investment communications. So I basically served on all the roles across different business teams. And also, I got an opportunity to serve on one of our portfolio companies. It's an amazing experience. Now I'm serving as the COO and covering the business management side.
When your husband said to you, leave this established securities firm, China Securities, and join this guy who has no track records, who grew up in an even more remote place than you did in Shandong. Did you think your husband was crazy?
Not at all, in fact. So I was just impressed by Lay the first time I met him. We were talking about he wanted to doing some interesting things with interesting people, partner with the best entrepreneurs to build our best business. It's fascinating. So we are very lucky that for the past 15 years, a lot of things evolved. We started with a very small team, now have more than 400 people across the firm. A lot of things has been changed, but the philosophy has never changed. We have been want to work together with the entrepreneurs since day one. To work with different entrepreneurs, we are stage agnostic since day one. We invested in JD back to 2010, and we also invested developer companies as big as Bell, which is one of the biggest privatization deal in Hong Kong market. We have another example, like we invested Beijing 8 rounds in a row. When we first invested in it, it's only $100 million. Now it's a company of over $20 billion. So it's always like this. It's always like working with the best entrepreneurs to develop best business model. So it's fascinating. Everybody in Hillhouse basically truly believe in this. So we really believe what we do is like contributing to the society. So that makes everybody very passionate about it. It's never about like formality. It's all about building up the business model. So the whole organization, in fact, evolved with this philosophy. So when with development, we have a deeper connection with the entrepreneurs. We built up a big operations team, value creation team to really deeply involved in the development of portfolio companies. We now have more than 100 people, big data team to help the entrepreneurs on tech enabling of their business. We also have more than 10 HR consultants to focusing on recruiting top talents and incentive design for our portfolio companies. We also have a lean management team help the portfolio company improve their operating process, improve their efficiency. So it's all about working together with the best entrepreneurs and in return to build up the best team, generate the best capital returns for all our LPs.
It's you helped all these startups grow, and Hillhouse itself was a startup. And in the early days, it was a very lean team. When we were talking on the phone last time, you used a phrase that really resonated with me and stayed with me. Do you remember you said we were the lucky generation? Did you and Lei have any idea how these companies would come to change not only the landscape of China, but the whole world?
Yes, I think so. First, as Lei always mentioned, we are entrepreneurs, happen to be investment industry. So Lei himself really believes in entrepreneurship. So we do believe with all this happening, we really have a lot of opportunity here. So I think Lei has been always focusing on innovation, so all this industry that we can contribute value. It's all about focusing on things we can really understand, we can monitor, and we can contribute value. So we are research driven. So just like we invest in the TMT industry, we invested in biotech industry. We in fact started invest in biotech industry back to 2013, 2014. For this kind of investments, for years they won't have any revenue or profit, even revenue. So it really need a long-term mentality to invest in these industries. But just like we invested in the pet clinic industry, we may discuss later, I think, so we are very research-driven, very long-term. So we are always ahead of the trend instead of follow any trend. So our amazing investment team have a very long-term view and have very good insights for all those industries. We can feel it's coming.
So it seems to me that it's very hard to describe Hillhouse's methods, because you said research-driven, but in fact, in many cases, Hillhouse is very early and there's very little data. I've always been impressed by the entrepreneurs that I meet that are Hillhouse backed. To what extent, when you meet potential portfolio companies, is it about intuition about the people who are running them as well? Is it a combination of bottoms up, top down? How much is intuition actually?
I think if you look at this, you can understand why Lei sent me to the pet clinic platform. At that time, really want to have built up our value creation capability and really want us to really understand entrepreneurs better. So that's one of the reasons she sent all our key partners to lead one of our pet operation platforms. So when I was first sent there, it was like fascinating. So
So
everybody,
how long ago so this is 2017 now, and
yeah,
Lay is telling you, I want you to go and run this pet clinic, this veterinarian clinic.
yes.
How long had he just made the investment? Had it been in the portfolio a while? And what was your response when he announced this?
So
Really
we were
day one kind of plan.
yes, it's interesting. We were talking about understanding entrepreneurs, working deeply together with entrepreneurs. So how to make this happen? They told me it's all about if you were in their role, how you think about things, how you how you understand better all their daily struggles. So then they told me, why don't you do that yourself? So just with that easy conversation, he sent me to that platform.
Well, what
It's
did
just,
you say? Did he ask you, how does this sound to you?
I think it's amazing. So in Hillhouse, every day is a fresh new day. Everybody is always ready
Really?
to take new challenges, right? My whole career was in financial industry. 5 years sell side, then getting to like a metal, getting to buy side. I never really worked in any operational companies. So, but I'm just always ready to take new challenges, right? Life is all about experience. So every day is a fresh new day. We just need to keep moving forward. Pursuit of excellence always in Hillhouse DNA. So I just say yes. Then I went there. It's totally new to me. The business
So
is new.
physically,
Yeah.
every day you were going to a completely new place.
Yeah, that's okay. I did every role other than the CIO role, right?
Yes.
Why not run an operation company? It's okay. I can do it. So I went to the platform. Just to realize that I mean it's I mean people in Hillhouse always think I ran the biggest team in Hillhouse. It's like 100, 200 people. When I first arrived at the platform, I just realized it's more than 1,500 people. It's it's a totally different organization. So to catch up, I began to talk to the management team day and night, from early in the morning until late to the night, until all the management team getting couldn't stand it anymore. So I mean, but it's a great learning process. After catch up, I began to brought in all our operating capabilities. So first we hired the best talents to the platform. So the pet industry in Hillhouse is still a very early stage industry. So a lot of the clinics are still mom and pop shops. So we brought in best talents, like top talents graduated from top MBAs and professionals trained by very established firms. By bringing in all these kind of talents, we helped them build up the operation process, standard SOPs, get them designed very well designed training program, develop the vets, and help them talking to their international peers. I mean, it's totally changed how they do their daily job. And also we combine our investment philosophy together with tech enabling. We built up the app to help them totally digitalize their operation process. It's fascinating, it's amazing to see the leaders of the clinics open their mobile phone at the end of the day to check on the clinic performance and the numbers of each doctors.
You know, most of the audience are LPs as well as your competitors, but they're also parents. They're listening to you. You are such a wonderful role model. You know, did you think that an MBA helped you both as an investor and as an entrepreneur? You know, is learning on the job the best? For all these people who are listening to you and thinking, God, I want my daughter to be just like Tracy. What advice would you have? It's so interesting to listen to you talk about how open you are to every experience and how flexible you are. You know, in today's world, what is the best training for these kinds of different challenges that were thrown at you? You know, you were so flexible in embracing every opportunity. What advice would you have?
I think you always work with the best talents. So in Chinese, there's a sentence about 与谁同行，与要去的远方更重要. So it's all about partner with the top best talents. You can always figure out a way. So about talking about best universities, MBA programs, you will meet best talents there. You may develop friendship there. They may become your partners, your friends in your future career, even life.
That's so wonderful. So you learned a lot at Chicago, and Lei obviously learned a lot at Yale. So let's go back to your experience at the pet clinic. Do you think serving, putting yourself literally in the shoes of an entrepreneur, has made you a better investor?
Yes, definitely. So after this experience, I understand organization better, understand talents better, even understand human being better. Now I can have much deeper conversation with all the entrepreneurs. I understand what they're struggling with on a daily basis. I can really link my experience to theirs. I really thankful for Lei to send me to the operation platform. I think that's an eye-opening experience.
That's such a wonderful attitude. You know,
and also, I should mention that it's not only about me. We have a group of very lovely women leaders here working together with me in Hillhouse. I'm very proud. Across Hillhouse, we have more than 50% of our people here are female. More than around half of the managing director here are female. And also more than 60% of our function leaders are female. And I think I'm very excited, also very excited. So a lot of the LPs, more and more GPs are talking about ESG. I think that's really, really like interesting. They basically think that one business model only makes sense if it creates value for the society. It's not only the portfolio companies we invest have to create value for the society. It's also what we do on our value creation has to contribute to the society as well. So from lean management to incentive structure design, from operating excellence to tech enabling, what we are doing is totally helping our portfolio company to achieve more sustainable development. So ESG has been in our DNA since day one. I'm very proud of that.
You talked about one of the things that you did at the pet clinic was to help that company digitalize. And then you referred very briefly to Bailu, the Bailey, I can't remember how to pronounce the name. But can you talk a bit about how Lei and Hillhouse are helping traditional companies in traditional sectors like these retail shoe company go digital?
Yes, I think it's the same mentality. So after investment, we help them build up the online business. And also we send in our tech team, help them totally digitalize each store and their whole operation process. We also send in our talent team, help them recruit top talents, and also including our lean management team, help them improve their operation on manufacturing. So it's the same mentality, just like what I did on the pet platform.
You know, Hillhouse is so big now. When entrepreneurs say to Lay, why should I take Hillhouse money? Everyone in the world is throwing money at me. What is your answer to that question? Why is Hillhouse money so special?
I think it's a easy answer. We are not only providing capital to the entrepreneurs, we provide a total solution to them. We are a group of people who are entrepreneurs, just happen to be in investment industry. We understand the needs of the entrepreneurs. The whole organization, as I mentioned earlier, is built up to help the entrepreneurs. The whole value creation team is all there to help. I mean, either it's quick growing VC companies or traditional companies facing transformation issues. We are all there to help, from organization building to talent recruiting, from operation improvement to tech enabling. We have the team and the capability there, all there to help.
You know, when the first time I visited JD.com, I met with Hao Yu. He was actually a Hillhouse person on loan. You know, from my point of view, one of the reasons I love being in Hong Kong is seeing Chinese companies. I feel that I'm seeing the future. You know, I'm so optimistic about China and the companies that I think are world-class coming out of China today. You know, in our conversation, you're always talking about human capital, human talent. You know, how do you find the best people these days? And is that the biggest challenge? Just how much competition there is for the best talent, wherever, you know, it may come from in the world?
Yeah, this is a great question. So I think the investment industry is really a talent-driven business. We think Hillhouse as a great talent platform as well. So we use the same mentality when we look at entrepreneurs and look at our in-house colleagues. So for entrepreneurs, we provided them with capital and other solutions to help them fully realize their potential. For our colleagues, for our team members, we do in the same mentality. It's about help attract the best talents and help them fully realize their potential. So I think we are very lucky, and I think what we do really track the best talents, and also we spend a lot of time on young talent development as well. So we have a emerging investor program where we hire the best talents from top schools. They are fresh graduate out of the school. We train them on both hard skills and soft skills. Through the well-designed program, we train them to be the really good value investor. And also not only about the investment, we also have another program for our business team and value creation teams. So we call it Emerging Leader Program. So I'm personally spend a lot of time on this program. I'm very proud of that. We hire the best talents who have expertise in business management, and get them in the program and train them to be the really next generation leader. So I can give you an example. There's a girl called Monica. So before the program, he has only a few years HR consulting experience. So once he joined the program, we first put her on the pet clinic platform. He was a regional HR officer there for about 6 months. He did the incentive design, recruited talents for the platform. Then we placed her to another role. It's the same platform, but operation manager. He began to in charge of the day-to-day management of more than 10 clinics. After that, he became the UK country manager of a retail company. He opened the UK market, started the business there. He managed every perspective of the business development. So after graduating from the program, he joined our vertical team as an HRBP of the consumer sector. So let's see how competitive she would be. Instead of only have HR experience, she has the experience of running operations, running a new startup business. So she really understands what the entrepreneur needs. She worked in this portfolio company and she understands how to make this work. It's amazing. I, in fact, gather together with our ELPs from time to time, but every time I was amazed about how much they grew from last time. So I think it's just like the Hillhouse mentality, pursuit of excellence every day. So if you combine the best talents together with the right investment philosophy and expose them to trend by the best executives, their growth would always out of your expectation.
So the final thing I wanted to ask you about was, you know, I saw the movie that Lei had produced about the Tibetan pilgrimage. Could you talk a bit about that movie and what the message is for entrepreneurs and investors from that movie?
Yeah, I think it's a great movie, and I really liked it. And all the Hillhouse employees watched that. It's basically what we are doing every day. So you just as long as you have a dream, you just work really hard towards it. During the process, every step matters.
You know, it is such a pleasure to chat with you. And, you know, what really comes through is, you know, why you believe that you are such a lucky generation. And for us, we're so lucky to have you at SuperReturns. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Henny. Thank you.